Hello, and welcome to FTT Chats, where we sit down with some of the great and the good of fintech for a bit of a chat. I'm Liz Lumley, and today I'm speaking to Chris Kneen of Provenir. Hello, how are you, Chris?
Hi Liz, how are you?
Excellent, very good. A little cold, but we'll warm up. We'll warm up with our chat throughout the day. So I'm going to start off with our first question. We ask everyone to introduce you to our community. So, Chris, who are you, and what do you do?
Yeah, Liz, thanks for sparing me some time today. I'm Chris Kneen, Senior Vice President here at Provenir for our EMEA business. I lead basically the commercial organisation for a financial technology business, and basically what we do is that we help financial institutions, banks, and other lenders make risk decisions about their customers, whether that be at point of origination or throughout that credit life cycle with them. We've been established about 17 years now. We're sort of a leading provider of this type of technology around the globe. And we are really excited about the opportunity that financial services has in front of it, and really looking forward to sort of discussing some of those topics with you today.
Excellent. So one of the things that we're going to talk about is lending, and what a lot of people are calling lending 3.0, or the sort of next evolution of the lending sector. I wanted to get your sort of viewpoint on which sectors of business and the economy and our personal life do you think have been the most innovative in terms of lending, and where can we see some progression?
Yeah, Liz, great question. So I think at Provenir we're really fortunate to deal with quite a diverse range of financial service organisations, from global banks through to some of the really disruptive financial services organisations that have evolved since the financial crisis. So we get a real view of the innovation that's happening across the industry. What I must say is that we're really focused around, what's happening around the credit and pricing decisions that are made by our customers. And I think there's a general, it's been the general sort of evolution across the industry, but some sectors have moved far faster than others. And so whilst we've seen a lot of investment in sort of digital front ends to improve that customer experience, there is a big lag behind the what we would call sort of some of the back office processes where Provenir gets involved when we're making these sort of credit and pricing decisions for customers. So some sectors have moved more faster, especially those disruptors that have been entering the space. And we've seen a real explosion around sort of finance to do with consumer credit, so these buy now, pay later type organisations that have really captured the consumer's attention by enabling sort of seamless experiences around the credit piece. And that's really driven a lot of innovation throughout the industry, because these organisations have grown really quickly and achieved big valuations in a very short period of time. And Provenir has been part of that success for some of those disruptors. So very proud of that. But I think where we've been able to add value to our customers, Liz, is talking about those experiences and how you can bring them to other sectors in the marketplace. So when we talk to customers who are embarking on these sort of digitization of these parts of their processes, one of the things we're really confident of talking about is how we can minimize the sort of questions that are asked, but also improve that customer experience. And so generally, I think the consumer space has been at the forefront, but certainly over the last 12 months, with the environment we've been in with the pandemic, and small businesses really needing quicker and more agile access to funding, it really focused that segment of the industry's mind to say, well, how do we now interact with customers where we have to be truly digital, where there can't be those face-to-face relationships and interactions. So that's where we've seen a real drive and a need to get funding out to these small and medium-sized enterprises that desperately need it today. And there have been organisations that have been able to pivot quickly to adapt to that new world that we're in today. And so I think that's there's still areas for improvement there, but we are seeing an acceleration across the industry. I think a couple of areas where I'd really shout out, where I think that there is still a real need for this, what are traditionally more manual processes, and this typically is where lending is more complex. So that might be in the commercial end, or an individual or a family applying for a new mortgage. So again, I think there's some real opportunities there for some disruptors and some of the established players to really make a difference and improve that experience.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what you talked about it leads me to my next question, because what's talked about a lot with the Lending 3.0 is this idea about tailored experiences and more personalization. So, I mean, how does real-time analytics support that, support more tailoring?
So what we're seeing, Liz, is that there is this requirement, or I think an expectation, really, by people who are looking to access financial service or engage with a bank or a lender, is that how do they make that a personal experience for me? How do they create loyalty for those customers? And so, but there are some organisations that do that really well, but the majority of them don't do that well today. And the reason behind that is that a lot of them are hampered by legacy technology that really prevents them from leveraging new data sources that are available out there in the marketplace. Here in the UK, we have a big drive to adopt open banking type information. It gives you much more real-time data on how that person or how that business owner is running their finances. So when you're creating personalised offers, you're making decisions on information that is current today, not based upon a traditional credit bureau file that may be, a month old, 6 months old, or 12 months old. So being able to access new relevant data sources, whether they be structured data or unstructured data, to help you have a more complete understanding of who that customer is and what their circumstances are today. That then enables you to really make sure that the offers that you present to them, firstly, are appropriate, but also, just as importantly today, Liz, affordable. Yeah. And that is, to the other point around being able to consume data, you then need to be able to analyze it really quickly. So you're not only basing your information on real-time data, but you're giving instant feedback to the consumer or to the business owner, so they can make a decision on whether they want to access that service, in a straight through and seamless way.
I'm glad you talked a lot about data, because my next question is going down that road. I mean, you mentioned, sort of old ways of measuring credit through, credit bureaus and that type of data. And now we're looking at real-time sources. But how do you really identify data that's quality? I mean, I know we have sort of new sources of data, but how can lenders really sort of integrate with the right sort of data and not just the new type of data?
So one of the challenges that a lot of organisations have in financial services, that they're presented with lots of choice around data today, especially in places like the UK, where we're very fortunate to be quite a transparent society, where there's lots of this information, and people are used to sharing their information. But the challenges that organisations have is actually tapping into that data so they can use it as part of their lending strategies, and being able to plug that information into analytical type tools. So it's not necessarily about the data not being available. It's organisations being able to tap into that data, test that data to establish what parts of it are valuable. And for those parts that are valuable, how do they then get that into an environment where they can use it in sort of an operational environment. And this is where obviously technology plays a big part. And with a lot of the disruptive organisations that are taking market share from the established players are those innovative lenders and financial institutions that have the capability to tap into new data sources, identify value, and operationalise that value where they see it. What that means for the customer is that the decisions that the lenders and the banks are making about them are appropriate. And again, going back to that theme around, making sure that the products that they're being offered are suitable for the circumstances that personal businesses in today, and that they're affordable. And so leveraging data and analytics is a key part of that, obviously, but it is about being able to test and iterate and then optimize over time are really the key themes to being able to use that data effectively.
So, Chris, our conversation is coming to an end. We've had a lot of interesting points to talk about the evolution of lending. So, but we like to give to end our FTT chats with a bit of a fun question. So, hopefully, you can indulge us. Coming into 2021, I wanted to give everyone a bit of magic. So, I'm offering you a magic wand that works. So, what wish would you give either the industry, fintech, society at large, if you had a magic wand that worked in real life? What wish would you grant?
Liz, I think it's I know it'd be quite easy for me to talk about technology and how that's helping people get through the pandemic, but I think generally it's just about trying to get back to some type of normal, and everyone getting society functioning again properly, so we can get out and about and meet together and interact, and just everyone being safe and well.
No, I think that's a wish we all want to grant at the same time. So you've you're very much it's a very, very popular one. So it's great, Chris. Thank you so much for sitting down with a chat for us, and can't wait to hear more from you at Lending 3.0 on February 24th.
That's great, Liz. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you.